and pulls Buck into the most chaste,
that is literally
passionless, closed mouth kiss you've ever seen on your screen since Love Simon debuted in 2018.
Okay, Love Simon defender over here.
All right.
My toxic trait is that I'm a gay person that liked Love Simon, and I'm just gonna say the kisses in that movie were not that passionless, and it has kind of a good soundtrack. That's all I'll say.
It does have kind of a good soundtrack. I will give it kind of a good soundtrack. And I do like that line about them going to Halloween as slutty Pokemon, but
funny.
one of them gets to be Charmander.
I saw that movie a bunch of times in theaters because I was going through it. He was a gay teen in his high school production of Cabaret, and I was also literally a gay teen in my high school production of Cabaret. So I was like, I have to see this.
What business do high schools have doing Cabaret?
And then also, like, my dog died around the same time, and I was like, well, guess I've got to see this 5 times in theaters.
Listen, I liked the dialogue and I liked most of the cast. Who's the exception? I will say.
Nick Robinson's fine. He wasn't
Nick
that
Robinson!
bad.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't that bad.
I mean, yeah. We can't expect all of our beautiful boys to be good actors.
He was better as like a weird dweeb in that one ABC family sitcom he did with Melissa Joan Hart.
Here's my take. I think he was what America needed in that moment to sort of bridge the gap between movies for straight people and movies for gay people. I think they needed an approachable gay boy who seemed straight to humanize him to the masses.
Yeah, our first big gay movie needs to be Mask for Mask. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is.
You know, that actor who plays the love interest is queer in real life.
Mask for Mask and Keenan Lonsdale.
Yeah, come on.
Keenan Lonsdale is not Mask.
He doesn't know it's Keenan Lonsdale until way later.
He's sort of butcher than usual in that movie specifically.
Also true, yeah. Isn't he on like the lacrosse team or something?
Something like that. Soccer or something, I think.
Soccer.
Haven't watched
it in
soccer.
Years. They play a sport. Like he and then like one of his friends is on the team.
I think
with
so.
him.
Keenan Lonsdale is cute. I liked him a lot in that movie.
Yeah, he's a cutie.
Yeah, he is a cutie. I thought that entire cast was like full of cuties. I love Alexandra Shipp. I love Catherine Langford, even though I hate 13 Reasons Why.
She had a very unfortunate breakout role, but other than that, she did.
But she's amazing. I love her.
She also plays an unfortunate role in Love, Simon, where she's the girl who's like, how dare you be gay, Simon? I had a crush on you.
Yeah, I can't stand you.
Literally.
No, the emotional climax of that movie.
Book by the same author, so.
The story. I can't believe we're going on this long of a tangent about Love, Simon.
Let's do it. We're here.
Yeah, we're here. It's happening. The thing in that movie, like the third act turning point where like all his friends ditch him for like being gay. That's not literally what happens, but you know, that it's
it might
bad.
As well
it's
have been,
not it's bad, but like
I hated that storyline.
The movie on the whole as an experience I like. So that's all I'm saying about that.
And I think that's fair. I can't get around the third act turn because it felt like the YA trope of all his friends turn on him, but they couldn't find a sympathetic reason for all of his friends to turn on him. So it just like read as them being kind of evil sociopaths a little bit.
So I think it's fair of the one girl that he was essentially like pimping out to the creepy guy. I think it's fair for her to be offended. Right. But then, the fact that everybody else is so upset is kind of weird. I don't remember why his male friend was upset. I think just because he liked the girl who was getting pimped out to the creepy guy, and he's like, how dare you pimp out the girl when you should have been pimping her out to me, you know? And then Catherine Langford, literally her only reason to be mad at him is like, you were gay and I had a crush on you even though I didn't tell you, and therefore you did something bad to me. And it's like, I don't know about that.
Let me tell you, that is the only reason I dislike the movie. That, and I don't buy Nick Robinson in the role,
which is fair.
And also the closed mouth kiss on the Ferris wheel. Those are my 3 reasons for disliking the movie.
YA movie kiss. I'm sorry, like they weren't about to fuck nasty on the Ferris wheel. The movie was like PG.
I don't need them to fuck nasty on the carousel,
but
I needed him to. But you know what? I needed the actor to not pop out after the kiss and be like, that was weird. Like that was the expression on his face. The expression on his face was that he kissed him and then he looked like he had gas pains. He looked like he had gas pains on that Ferris wheel.
All right.
Okay.
To me,
that's why To
me, it's level of like Tumblr white gay chasteness was like chastity. The word is chastity.
Sure,
was very relatable to me at the time. Like, I had never been in a relationship, still never have, and so for me, as a person with, like, no experience with that stuff, especially as a teen, like, the fantasy, the sort of, like, non-threatening fantasy of it was actually kind of spoke to me a lot for some reason.
Right.
That's fair.
Yeah, I get that.
That's fair. And I think that's the appeal. And I'll say, the movie was funny. I liked a lot of the dialogue. I liked a lot of the character beats. I thought the movie was funny. And
okay, I'm going to say one more thing in defense of straight Nick Robinson, which is, to be fair, there is a moment, and I think you could argue about, like, the exploitation of this one character, the gay character who is a little more feminine and who is, like, his classmate, the guy with longer hair. He's a little more effeminate, and he's also black, which is kind of like an interesting dimension to what this movie is, right? But
also good on them for doing that in a movie set in Atlanta. Like,
it's
like
true.
I'm glad they actually did do their job on that front.
But also, it's I think there's probably a conversation to be had about, like, so why was this movie about, like, the Nick Robinson character and not about a character like that, right?
Well,
but
baby steps,
there is a conversation. Exactly. There is a conversation at one point where that character says to Simon, he's like, it's kind of easy for you because you look the way you do and you are, like, you know, you can hide it, you know, and I can. And I feel like in that very small moment, it's like, okay, maybe there was kind of a plot reason for him to be this, like, boring, straight looking gay guy.
Yeah, I wish they would have gone further with that messaging, maybe, like, make it sort of like X2 when Nightcrawler is going up to Mystique and he's like, you can change your appearance, so why don't
make
you
it
look
more
like
like
them all
X2,
the time? And she's
that
like,
would have saved Love Simon.
and she says, you know, because we shouldn't have to. And I'm like, yeah, that's tea.
Real?
Like, like go with that messaging. Like, that's good. You know,
but that's
like,
a big pill to swallow too for your expected straight mainstream audience. It's difficult. It's especially in 2018. It's a difficult line to walk.
It's crazy how different 2018 was. Can you believe
right?
Buddy hadn't even happened yet? I mean, it still hasn't happened yet.
It hasn't happened now.
But, you know, Buddy wasn't even...
Jane. Eddie hadn't happened
exactly.
yet.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. 911 was in its infancy. And Love Simon, okay, I'm sorry, fanon thing right now. Buck totally saw Love Simon and he totally fucking bawled his eyes out and had no idea why.
He cried so hard.
He cried so hard.
He was like, and then he put that pride flag in his bio.
He walked out of the movie theater and he was like, wow, I'm such a good ally.
Yeah, exactly.
Not once thinking about why it affected him so much.
No, he thought to himself, why did that affect me so
Because, you know,
deeply?
Like, that's exactly his vibe. Is like, he probably loves movies like Love Simon.
Did you guys remember they did the cross-promotional thing with Riverdale, where in one episode all the characters were going to see Love Simon in theaters?
Yeah, because it was directed by, what's his name? Greg Berlanti. Who's a big CW guy. That was so embarrassing.
Oh, no kidding.
It was like because the tone of Riverdale is so bizarre compared to the tone of Love Simon, which, like, not the most realistic movie, but, like, it takes place in the real world, you know, versus Riverdale. Riverdale exists in this, like, wannabe Lynchian, like, alternate, literally, like, multiverse. It's like a different dimension
with witches and superpowers and the Gargoyle King.
And so when they all just go out to see
quads,
all just go out to see Greg Berlanti's Love Simon, and then they walk out of the movie like, wow, that was really thought provoking. It's like, this doesn't really seem to fit into the rest of the storytelling on Riverdale.
Certainly not. Everything I've learned about Riverdale is against my fucking will, by the way.
Yes.
I have never sought out information on Riverdale.
Well, now you know.
Imagine if we do a First Podcast charity stream and we get Justin and you and me all in the same room and we just binge Riverdale while raising money for charity.
I love the thought that we're popular enough to have any impact as a charity stream.
Hey, listen, we were the number 26 most popular podcast in Australia for a whole week.
We were like number 14. We were like number 14 in film and television podcasts in Australia for like a week.
Yeah.
Shout out to Australians.
Hell yeah.
So we have to do the charity stream in Australia. We'll all go to Australia together.
Yeah, do it on Australian time.
Exactly. Get those Sydney bucks.